The Chantry teaches us that it is the hubris of men which brought the Darkspawn into our world. The mages had sought to usurp heaven, but instead they destroyed it. They were cast out, twisted and cursed by their own corruption. They returned as monsters, the first of the Darkspawn. They became a blight upon the lands, unstoppable and relentless. The Dwarven kingdoms were the first to fall, and from the deep roads, the Darkspawn drove at us again and again, until finally we neared annihilation. Until the Grey Wardens came. Men and women from every race, warriors and mages, barbarians and kings. The Grey Wardens sacrificed everything to stem the tide of darkness, and prevailed. It has been 4 centuries since that victory, and we have kept our vigil. We have watched and waited for the Darkspawn to return. But those who once called us heroes have forgotten. We are few now, and our warnings have been ignored for too long. Even be too late. For I have seen with my own eyes what lies on the horizon. Maker, help us all. For generations, your family, the Kuzlans, has stewarded the lands of Highever, earning the loyalty of your people with justice and temperance. When your country was occupied by the Orlesian Empire, your father and grandfather served the embattled kings of your land. Today, your elder brother takes up House Kuzlan's banner in service to the crown, not against the men of Orlais, but against the bestial Darkspawn rising in the south.
I trust then that your troops will be here shortly.
I expect they will start arriving tonight, and we can march tomorrow. I apologize for the delay, my lord. This is entirely my fault.
No. The appearance of the Darkspawn in the south has us all scrambling, doesn't it? I only received the call from the king a few days ago myself. I'll send my eldest off with my men. You and I will ride tomorrow just like the old days.
True, though we both had less grey in our hair then. And we fought Orlesians, not monsters.
At least the smell will be the same. I'm sorry, Pap, I didn't see you there. Hal, you remember my son?
I see he's grown into a fine young man. Pleased to see you again, lad. My daughter Delilah asked after you. Perhaps I should bring her next time.
Oh, Delilah se tam.
Ha! To what end, he says, and so glib. The boy's a whip like his father.
See what I contend with, Hal? You can't tell my fierce boy anything these days, Maker bless his heart.
As uniquely talented as his father, I'm sure.
At any rate, Pup, I summoned you for a reason. While your brother and I are both away, I'm leaving you in charge of the castle. Now, that's what I'd like to hear. Only a token force is remaining here, and you must keep peace in the region. You know what they say about mice when the cat is away, yes? There's also someone you must meet. Please, show Duncan in.
It is an honor to be a guest within your hall, Tyrn Cousland.
Your lordship, you didn't mention that a Grey Warden would be present.
Duncan arrived just recently, unannounced. Is there a problem?
Of course not. But a guest of this stature demands certain protocol. I am at a disadvantage.
We rarely have the pleasure of seeing one in person, that's true. Pup, Brother Aldous taught you who the Grey Wardens are, I hope. They are the heroes of legend, who ended the Blights and saved us all. Duncan is looking for recruits before joining us and his fellow Wardens in the south. I believe he's got his eye on Sir Gilmore.
If I might be so bold, I would suggest that your son is also an excellent candidate.
Honor though that might be, this is one of my sons we're talking about. I have not so many children that I'll gladly see them all off to battle. Unless you intend to invoke the right of conscription.
Have no fear. While we need as many good recruits as we can find, I've no intention of forcing the issue.
Pup, can you ensure that Duncan's requests are seen to while I'm gone? In the meantime, find Fergus, and tell him to lead the troops to Ostagar ahead of me. Upstairs in his chambers, no doubt, spending some last moments with his wife and my grandson. Be a good lad and do as I've asked. We'll talk soon.
Buenos dias, dámy a pánové, já vás vítám u naší herní série na hru Dragon Age Origins. Tak jenom tady něco ještě zkusím rychle. Tak, výborně, super, všechno jsme se vyzkoušeli a můžeme teda vyrazit dál. Tak, co tady máme? First Day Pranks, Credits, Duncan, nový kodex, výborně, teďka otevřu dveře a vyjdeme ven. Počkej, se vrátím ještě, něco jsem ještě chtěla. Jo, jdou zavřít, jdou otevřít i zavřít ty dveře, výborně. Tak, ještě půjdu sem. No, dobrý, já to vyjdu tady, mám tam ty dveře šly naštěstí zavřít, takže jsem docela v klidu, to tady obejdu.
There you are. Your mother told me the Tyrn had summoned you, so I didn't want to interrupt.
Ano, samozřejmě. Proč mě hledáte?
Pardon my manners, my lord. It's simply that I've been looking all over the castle for you. I fear your hound has the kitchens in uproar once again, and is threatening to leave.
Už zase. Hajzlí get him.
No matter how the maids try to keep him out, he always finds a way in. You know these Mabari hounds. They listen only to their master. Anyone else risks having an arm bitten off.
No, to jo.
I'm not willing to test that. You're quite lucky to have your own Mabari warhound, you know. Smart enough not to talk, my father used to say. Of course, that means he's easily bored. Nan swears he confounds her just to amuse himself. At any rate, your mother would have me accompany you until the matter is settled, shall we?
No jasně, jdeme.
Just follow the yelling. When Nan's unhappy, she makes sure everyone knows it.
No to jo, to máš pravdu, no. Tak, jdeme, pane. Vyrazíme tím směrem. Tak, jaká je ta kuchyně, ale do kelu. Já tam totiž prd vidím na té minimapě. OK, tady má, OK, ano, tady.
This should be easy enough.
No.
Get that bloody mutt out of the larder.
But mistress, it won't let us near.
If I can't get into that larder, I'll skin both of you useless elves, I swear it.
Calm down, good woman. We've come to help.
You and you. Your bloody mongrel keeps getting into my larder. That beast should be put down.
No, je to můj pes, vole, nebude se to.
Just get him gone. I've enough to worry about with a castle full of hungry soldiers. You two, stop standing there like idiots. Get out of the way.
Ta si to umí to pořádně. Tady výukové inventáře a vybavení. Chce tady postavit? No, to vím už. Tak, hodíme si ičko a vybavíme ji něčím novým. Nějakou novou věcí. Hej! Hej! Ne! Ne! Ale. Dobrý, vybavíme ji teda. Jo, tady máme zbroj, výborně. Au. Au. Jo, ano. Jo, to si dám tady, výborně. No, teď jsme to zrovna pít nemuseli, ale děkuji. Pejsek, můj pejsek.
Oh, look at that mess. How did he even get in here?
Ale...
Oh, encourage the hound, why don't you? No wonder he keeps giving Nan fits. He does seem like he's trying to tell you something. Wait, did you hear that?
Jak ho pojmenujeme? Víte co, já mu dám jméno Daimonion. Tak. Potvrdit a můžeme hrát dál. Krysy!
Critters.
We must win! Desperation is an ugly perfume!
Tak jo, tady máte vy.
And stay away! Get out of here! Make a break! Look at that one! Giant rats? It's like the start of every bad adventure tale my grandfather used to tell. Your hound must have chased them in through their holes. Looks like he wasn't raiding the larder after all. Those were rats from the Kokari Wilds. Best not to tell Nan. She's upset enough as it is. But seeing as you've got your Mabari well in hand, I'll be on my way. I'm to prepare for the arrival of more of the Isle's men.
Tak jsme zase zbyli jenom spolu, pejsku. Můj milovaný Daimonione. Tak, co tady můžu ukrást? Dobře, musíme si dobře zaseknout tyhle. Tak, vezmeme tady tu voubovku a jdeme do prdele. Tak. Hey!
There he is, as brazen as you please, licking his chops after helping himself to the roast, no doubt.
No, spíš ti pomohlo, vole.
What? Rats? Not the large grey ones.
They'll rip you to shreds, they will!
See, now you've gone and scared the servants. I expect those filthy things are dead.
Ne, vůbec.
Oh, I bet that dog led those rats into there to begin with. Oh, don't even start with the sad eyes. I'm immune to your so-called charms. Here then, take these pork bits and don't say that Nan never gives you anything. Bloody dog. Thank you, my lord. Now we can get to work. That's right, you two. Quit standing about.
No, přesně. Přesněte postavit, jdeme pracovat. Tak, já jdu... Kam já jdu vlastně? Tam nejdu. Aktivuju si otcův úkol promluvit si se svým bratrem. A cestou zase určitě potkám něco, co mě absolutně dokáže vytočit. Ze vším všudy. Moje matka, samozřejmě.
And my dear Bryce bought this back from Orlais last year. The Marquis who gave it to him was drunk, I understand, and mistook Bryce for the king. Ah, here is my younger son. I take it by the presence of that troublesome hound of yours that the situation in the kitchen is handled?
Ne, vůbec. Jasně, že jo. Jo. Ano, vybuchla hlava pece, že sloužící v kuchyni. To bych dala, ty vole.
At least one of us will have had a decent dinner. Perhaps your hound left something I can feed my guests. Darling, you remember Lady Landra, Ban Lawrence's wife?
I think we last met at your mother's spring salon.
Jo, to si pamatuju.
You're too kind, dear boy. Didn't I spend half the salon shamelessly flirting with you?
Right in front of your family, too.
You remember my son, Dyron. He's riding with your father tomorrow.
It's good to see you again, my lord.
Oh, já tebe taky.
And this is my lady in waiting, Iona. Do say something, dear.
It is a great honor, my lord. I have heard many wonderful things about you.
Don't look now, Eleanor. But I believe the girl has a crush on your lad.
Lady Landra!
Hush, Landra. You'll turn the poor thing scarlet.
Ne, vůbec.
As it pleases you, my lord.
I think perhaps I shall rest now, my dear. Dyron, I will see you and Iona at supper.
Perhaps we'll retire to the study for now.
Good evening, your lordship.
Děkuji, matko.
You should say goodbye to Fergus while you have the chance.
Ne, já tam půjdu, ale za chvilku.
Yes, your father mentioned that. You haven't got it into your head that you want to be recruited.
Já? Ne. Ty? No, nikdo. Já? Proč já? Na co?
There's enough here at the castle to occupy you. I don't need you off chasing danger like your brother.
Ale já nejsem jako můj bratr, takže... Ale dobře.
I know it's difficult to stay in the castle and watch others ride off, but we must see to our duties first. You understand that, don't you?
No jo, no. No, já mám tady strašně zvláštní...
It's in the Maker's hands now, and we must cope as best we can. As do I. Your father and brother are marching off to fight Maker knows what. All the assurances in the world don't comfort me, but it wouldn't help for us to take up arms and follow. Fergus and your father have their duty and we have ours.
Měl bych jít.
For a few days. Then I'll travel with Lady Landra to her estate and keep her company for a time. Your father thinks my presence here might undermine your authority.
Ne.
Don't worry, my dear. It won't be long.
Ale bude.
I love you, my darling boy. You know that, don't you?
Oh, jasně, že to vím.
Go do what you must then. I will see you soon.
OK, tak bye bye. Spižírna, kaple, knihovna, jo. Tak, budu se stavit do knihovny. Třeba mi to k něčemu bude.
Good evening, my lord.
Let's get started.
Kdo to je? Toho typka neznám. Ten je mi akýsi cizí. Hej, já jsem měla hledat studovnu, ne knihovnu, ty vole, knihovnu.
Hello, my dear boy. By chance, I am beginning to teach these young squires about your family's history.
Do we have to? History is boring.
Boys, you are referring to the Couslands, the very family in whose castle you live. Show some respect. If the mind is not exercised, it withers just as the body does. Perhaps you'd care to join me in teaching the lesson? Wonderful. Oh, the Cousland history is long indeed. Where shall we start? Well, records are vague, but the Couslands became Tierns during the Black Age. Is that familiar, child? Good. I'm pleased some of my lessons seem to have stuck. At that time, your family held only the minor title of Ban. When the werewolves reached this area, Ban Mather Cousland organized a curfew and patrols within the city. Several other local bands supported his efforts by swearing oaths of fealty, making him their Tiern. Well, I'm glad some of my lessons don't disappear into that yawning chasm between your ears, young man. It seems you've already plumbed the depths of your potential, then. A pity. At any rate, your family has held the tournure of High Ever since before King Calenhad united Ferelden. In fact, Tierna Elathea Cousland battled Calenhad to maintain High Ever's independence. Calenhad wished to unite Ferelden, not conquer it. After Elathea's men were defeated, Calenhad asked her to swear fealty. The boulder where they held council still stands today as a memorial of that event. The history between the Kuslans and the house reaches back to the Orlesian occupation. During your grandfather's rule, of course, Orlais found it difficult to hold these lands. During the rebellion against Orlais, several battles were fought near Highever. The port village of Harper's Ford was the tournier's center. Its Arl was Tarleton Howe. Though nearly 90, he was still as sharp and bitter as cheap ale. Your grandfather openly supported the rebellion, but Howe sided with Orlais. Your family was forced to seize Harper's Ford before it was all over. True, but if you expect to rule simply on writ, you'll find yourself ousted by a coalition of angry Arls. The Howes eventually joined the rebellion, when all of Ferelden united behind King Merrick and General Logain. Just as now we united behind Merrick's son, King Cailan, to fight the Darkspawn. Thank you for indulging an old man.
Oh, does that mean we have to listen to you now?
Silence! I will not have you two becoming smart-mouthed hooligans. Perhaps you should go. I doubt they need any more distraction. I'm just going to settle in here and apparently just talk to myself for all the good I'm doing. That's myself all this while you do this.
Tak, Fereldenské šlechtičné
Mother says the Darkspawn will all be killed and I won't see one. Is that true?
Yep, je to pravda. Všichni budou pobyti, úplně všichni. Tak já jdu za Fergusem, protože už mi to docela chybí. Matko! To je zase přiběhnu kolem tebe. Co tu stojíš se založenýma rukama jak... Před páčitel zámku. Odemknu. Dobrý den. Joha, tu mají jenom rytíři svoje zbroje. Tu můžete vidět hromadu seker, brnění a jinak úplně hovno. Tak, jdeme. Jdu navštívit teda svého bratra. Tak, rovně. Tady má výborně. A tady zabočíme. Nazdar, Fergus.
Is there really going to be a war, Papa? Will you bring me back a sword?
That sword, Oren. And I'll get you the mightiest one I can find, I promise. I'll be back before you know it.
I wish victory was indeed so certain. My heart is disquiet.
Don't frighten the boy, love. I speak the truth. And here's my little brother to see me off. Now dry your eyes, love, and wish me well.
Ne, padlej, nebudu ti před vůbec nic.
When there's a woman in your life, you'll understand.
Ne.
One day you'll meet someone who can handle you. Mark my words.
Myslíš? Ne.
I wish you could come. It'll be tiring killing all those Darkspawn myself.
Surely your father would not place both his heirs in danger?
Mother and father have been fighting about it for days. It's too bad. I could have used you at my side.
Yeah.
If it's any consolation, I'm sure I'll freeze in the southern rain and be completely jealous of you up here, warm and safe.
I am positively thrilled that you will be so miserable, husband.
Ne. Tak na to zabila asi nejvíc.
Really? Was he riding a griffin?
Shh, Oren. Griffins only exist in stories now.
I'd heard that. Did he say why he's come? Oh? If I were a Grey Warden, little brother, I'd have my eye on you. Not that father would ever allow it. Then the Arl's men are delayed. You'd think his men were all walking backwards. Well, I'd better get underway. So many Darkspawn to behead, so little time. Off we go then. I'll see you soon, my love.
I would hope, dear boy, that you plan to wait for us before taking your leave.
Be well, my son. I will pray for your safety every day you are gone.
To oni se nebojím, bude v pohodě.
The Maker sustain and preserve us all. Watch over our sons, husbands and fathers, and bring them safely back to us.
And bring us some ale and wenches while you're at it. For the men, of course.
Fergus, you would say this in front of your mother?
What's a wench? Is that what you pull on to get the bucket out of the
Jo,
well?
ano.
A wench is a woman that pours the ale in a tavern, Oren. Or a woman who drinks a lot of ale.
Bryce, maker's breath. I swear it's like living with a pack of small boys.
I'll miss you, mother dear. You'll take care of her brother, won't you?
Jo, samozřejmě můžeš se mnou počítat úplně na pohodku.
Oh, good. How thrilling to know I'm so well taken care of.
Enough, enough. Pup, you'll want to get an early night. You've much to do tomorrow.
Fakt? Nekecej! To bych bez tebe vůbec nevěděla, ale vůbec. Oh my gosh. Co se děje, chlupáči? Ty vole, co se děje, chlupáčku?
My lord, help me! The castle is under attack!
Oh, fuck! Do prdele! Kde mám oblečení? Tady moje truhle, počkej. No tak to mi teď kurva hodně pomůže tady tohle. Mám tady všechno naštěstí, jak to tak vypadá na sobě. A kožená zbroj, rychle šup, výborně. Teďka rychle hodit si tady železné díky. Po dvou. Ale no tak. Musím dát takhle dobře. Výborně. A jdeme na věc. Hovej boják. Zrada!
Right.
Špatný směr, vole. Máš ty zmetky.
As you wish.
Děkuji. A jdeme. Tak, doufám, že za chvilku přijde matka, vole, a řekne mi k tomu trošku víc.
Tell us! Only one shall stand!
On it.
I'm gonna...
Darling, I heard fighting outside and I feared the worst. Are you hurt?
Ne, vůbec. Naštěstí ne.
They never got through the door, thanks to you. Her scream woke me up. There were men in the hall, so I barred the door. Did you see their shields? Those are Howe's men. Why would they attack us?
Protože nás zradili.
You don't think Howe's men were delayed? On purpose? That bastard. I'll cut his lying throat myself.
Jo, taky bych to
Have
udělala.
you seen your father? He never came to bed. No, I won't believe that. We must find him.
Jo, jdeme ho hledat, pojď.
I most certainly will not. I am no Orlesian wallflower. Give me a sword and I'll use it. Now let's go.
Jdeme. Tak, zvyšování úrovně. Výborně, počkat, první dám palcát, budeš mít palcát sebou. Děkuji. A to je všechno, co jo. Zvýšila se mi úroveň, sakra. To bylo špatné. Tak, vývoj zvyšování úrovně, pokaždé, když postoupíte na další, získá vaše postava. Děkuji. Co můj pes? Můj pes dostane kondici a tak dále. A co já? Já si můžu... Já si zvýším trošku víc tady. Ano, tak další. Tak dám si tohle. No a co sám? Ano, bude ze mě. Budu se tiše plížit. Tak, tady máme zavazadla, Díka, velký meč.
Some of your father's belongings are in that trunk.
Tak, ještě matce hodíme teda druhý meč. Nebo lépe řečeno druhou Díku, ať má čím bojovat. Když už ji tu mám, tak ať má čím bojovat hlavně. Tady druhá, další, výborně. No, nikdy to nestínu přečíst, když si to vezmu tak rychle, že? No, prostě to vezmu, jdu. Tak, co pak máme tady? Slabý lektor z Lyria. Tak nějaký čaroděj. OK. Tak, kam dál? Tak jo, pojď ty hajtle.
Let's make this quick, shall we? It's either you or me. It's gonna be me.
Ty vole, když se moje matka naučila tak dobře bojovat. Slabý loď z Liria, slabý ločivý obklad. Tak, mám. Slabý loď z Liria, výborně, tak. Truhla.
Let's get started.
Prázdný pergament, to je nádhera. Tak jo, ještě tady někde byl ten Fergus, nebo ten jeho... Tak tady to rozhodně nebylo. A tady jsou ty dveře, výborně. A co to kurva?
No! My little Oren! What manner of fiend slaughters innocents?
Kurva!
How he's not even taking hostages? He means to kill all of us. Oh, poor Fergus. Let's go, I don't want to see this.
Věř mi, že já to taky nechci vidět. Tak kam dál? Jo, takže tady má, ano. Tak, kde máme ty další zmetky?
Can you hear the fighting? Hal's men must be everywhere.
Fakt? Mně to nepřijde.
The servants' passage leads out from the larder. But we must find your father first. The front gates. That's where your father must be.
Tady nás zatím nenašli, tu nejsou.
Listen, darling. We haven't much time. If we can't find your father, you must get out of here alive. Without you and Fergus, the entire Kusen line dies here. If Hal's men are inside, they must already control the castle. We must use the servants' entry in the larder to escape. Do you hear me? Then let us be swift.
Linie nevymře, buď v klidu. Jeden malý spoiler, který tady nebudu dělat, ale... Tak moje linie nevymře, buďte v klidu. Ha. To bude docela zábavné, já už to vidím teď. Tak, já se tam musím dostat tady má.
The castle has fallen! I'm getting out of here!
Zbabilče.
Yes, my lord! Here they come!
Rychle!
Come on!
Ty vole, nechutí, sral.
Is that all you've got?
Ale mi nebude dělat, nejsou. Ne! Ne! Tak, jdu si vzít tady něco z těch knih. Prázdný pergamen, výborně, tak jdu. Dobrý den, nashledanou, ano. Tak, co pak tu máme? Mabary. Ne, nebudu tady mít malého psa.
Show me what you got. Here we go.
We will not be defeated!
On it. As you wish.
Tak, to bylo rychlý.
Let's get started. On your guard.
Fall to the likes of you.
Ohnivý krystal. Musím vzít ohnivý krystal a jdu do prdele. Tak. Tak to tady oběhnu. Co tady?
As you wish.
Jaj! Tady je to masakr, na to, že jsme vystřelili motorovou pilu, tady nemáme k tomu, ale to nevadí, protože to je absolutní špička. Takže mi to máte do prdele. Už teď se mi to nelíbí. Tak, další učišník. Ty zmetky.
We have won this battle, but we cannot waste more time.
Go, man the gates. Keep those bastards out as long as you can. Your ladyship, my lord, you're both alive. I was certain Hal's men had gotten through.
They killed Oriana and Oren. I can't believe. Are you injured?
Don't worry about me, your ladyship. Thank the Maker you two are unharmed. When I realised what was happening, it was all I could do to shut the gates. But they won't keep Hell's men out long. If you've another way out of the castle, use it quickly.
Využijem, neboj.
I've no idea. You don't think he's involved in this, do you?
Perhaps he was sent to kill Bryce? Oh dear. Have you seen him?
When I last saw the turn, he'd been badly wounded. I urged him not to go, but he was determined to find you. He went towards the kitchen. I believe he thought to find you at the servants' exit in the larder.
Bless you, Sir Gilmore. Maker watch over you.
Maker watch over us all.
Oh. To Magor. Jakože fakt ten borec. Mám řekl úplně všechno teďka. A my? My tak akorát umřeme. Všichni.
Enemies approaching. We're under attack. Come, you can do better than that.
Běž.
Drive you from our land myself. We have won this battle, but we cannot waste more time.
Máš pravdu, jdeme. Ne, proč?
Come, you can do better than that.
Později už potom až zatím ještě v pohodě docela, ale tady už začnou ty souboje jako tady se nám teďka na začátek je to docela dobrý, jenom abyste viděli, jak funguje ten soubojový systém, který samozřejmě vůbec nefunguje, protože je to totální sračka, ale... Tak jo, tati?
There, you both are. I was...
Bryce!
Wondering when you would get here.
Maker's blood, what's happening? You're bleeding!
Hal's men found me first. Almost did me in right there.
Ne! Proč to viděl?
He can't get away with this. The king will...
Bryce, we must get you out of here.
I won't survive the standing, I think. Ah, my boy. If only Will could make it so.
Once Hal's men break through the gate, they will find us. We must go.
Someone must reach Fergus. Tell him what has happened.
A pomstit se.
Yes. Vengeance.
Bryce, no. The servants' passage is right here. We can flee together, find you healing magic.
The castle is surrounded. I cannot make it.
I'm afraid the turn is correct. Howe's men have not yet discovered this exit, but they surround the castle. Getting past will be difficult.
You are Duncan, then? The Grey Warden?
Yes, your ladyship. The turn and I tried to reach you sooner.
My younger son helped me get here. Maker be praised.
I am not surprised.
Ano, alumálime, já vím.
Whatever is to be done now, it must be quick. They are coming.
Duncan, you are under no obligation to me, but I beg you, take my wife and son to safety.
I will, your lordship, but I fear I must ask for something in return.
Anything.
What is happening here pales in comparison to the evil now loose in this world. I came to your castle seeking a recruit. The Darkspawn threat demands that I leave with one.
I understand.
Cože? Ne? Já s ničím souhlasit nebudu.
You fought your way to me through Howe's men. I think the Maker's intention is clear. I will take the Tyrna and your son to Ostagar to tell Fergus and the king what happened. Then, your son joins the Grey Wardens.
So long as justice comes to Hal. I agree.
Then I offer you a place within the Grey Wardens. Fight with us.
Ne! Žádné takové.
We must leave quickly then.
Bryce, are you sure?
Our son will not die of Hal's treachery. he will live and make his mark on the world.
Darling, go with Duncan. You have a better chance to escape without me.
Ne?
Eleanor.
Hush, Bryce. I'll kill every bastard that comes through that door to buy them time. But I won't abandon you.
Nedopustím, aby se zopětovalo.
My place is with your father. At his side to death and beyond.
I'm so sorry it's come to this, my love.
We had a good life and did all we could. It's up to our children now.
Then go, pup. Warn your brother. Know that we love you both. You do us proud.
They've broken through the gates. We must go now.
Goodbye, darling.
Ne, to by nemůžete udělat. Ne, takhle. Ne tímto stylem, ne tímto způsobem. Kurva.
We will be traveling south through the hinterlands to the ruin of Ostagar, on the edges of the Korkari Wilds. The Tevinter Imperium built Ostagar long ago to prevent the Wilders from invading the northern lowlands. It's fitting we make our stand here, even if we face a different foe within that forest. The King's forces have clashed with the Darkspawn several times, but here is where the bulk of the Horde will show itself. There are only a few Grey Wardens within Ferelden at the moment, but all of us are here. This blight must be stopped, here and now. If it spreads to the north, Ferelden will fall.
Ho there, Duncan.
King Kaelan. I didn't expect a
royal welcome? I was beginning to worry you'd miss all the fun.
Not if I could help it, Your Majesty.
Then I'll have the mighty Duncan at my side in battle after all. Glorious. The other wardens told me you'd found a promising recruit. I take it this is he?
Allow me to introduce you, Your Majesty.
No need, Duncan. You are Bryce's youngest, are you not? I don't think we've ever actually met.
Ano, vaše veličenstvo. Jmenuji se Aiden.
Is it about your father? Your brother has been concerned about him.
Ten se už neukáže, bohužel.
Dead? What do you mean? Duncan, do you know anything about this?
Terran Cousland and his wife are dead, Your Majesty. Arl Howe has shown himself a traitor and overtaken Highever Castle. Had we not escaped, he would have killed us and told you any story he wished.
I can scarcely believe it. Well, how could he think he could get away with such treachery? As soon as we are done here, I will turn my army north and bring Howe to justice. You have my word.
Jo, děkuji, vaše veličenstvo. Vážím si toho. To nejde tady, že to budu mačkat venturu nebo večer, ne.
No doubt you wish to see your brother. Unfortunately, he and his men are scouting in the wilds.
Aha.
Of that, I have no doubt. You will see him again once the battle is over, I am certain. I apologize, but there's nothing more I can do. All I can suggest is that you vent your grief against the Darkspawn for the time being.
To se nemusíš bát, to samozřejmě udělám, protože... taková zrada.
I'm sorry to cut this short, but I should return to my tent. Loghain waits eagerly to bore me with his strategies.
Your uncle sends his greetings and reminds you that Redcliffe forces could be here in less than a week.
Ha! Eamon just wants in on the glory. We've won 3 battles against these monsters, and tomorrow should be no different.
No to doufejme, no.
I'm not even sure this is a true blight. There are plenty of Darkspawn on the field, but alas, we've seen no sign of an archdemon.
Disappointed, Your Majesty?
I'd hoped for a war like in the tales. A king riding with the fabled Grey Wardens against a tainted god. But I suppose this will have to do. I must go before Loghain sends out a search party. Farewell, Grey Wardens.
Ten můj jak jenom. Ano, pane. Doufám, že všechno bude v pořádku.
What the king said is true. They've won several battles against the Darkspawn here.
Tak to je dobře. To je dobře.
Despite the victories so far, the Darkspawn horde grows larger with each passing day. By now they look to outnumber us. I know there is an archdemon behind this, but I cannot ask the king to act solely on my feeling.
No, tak to je jasné, tak.
Yes, we should proceed with the ritual.
No, takže, co mám dělat?
Feel free to explore the camp here as you wish. All I ask is that you do not leave it for the time being.
Neboj.
There is another Grey Warden in the camp by the name of Alistair. When you're ready, seek him out and tell him it's time to summon the other recruits. Your hound can stay with me while I attend to some business. The Grey Warden tent is on the other side of this bridge. You will find us there should you need to.
Jasné. Tak, dámy a pánové, tohle by bylo pro tuto epizodu vše. Děkuji za každý odběr, like, zhlédnutí, uvidíme se v další části na hru Dragon Age Prameny, tak zatím adios, amigos!